Hello and welcome back to another how-to Django tutorial. My name's Tom with Mastercode Online. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to work on part 2 of our anti-spam app. Basically, what we're going to do in today's app is create a model to store IP addresses. Also create a function that will check the IP address exists in the database. So if you haven't completed part 1 of this tutorial series, you will be completely lost. So go and complete, create, what the heck's it called? Create an anti-spam app in Django part 1. So let's get started in part 2 of this tutorial series. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is create a new model, and that model will store our IP addresses. So we'll do class blocked IPs, and then we'll do models.model, so subclass of the model. Alright, we're going to do IP underscore address, and we're going to set that equal to models.generic IP address field. Alright, there used to be an IP address field, but they got rid of it. Alright, you know what, we can set this to unique is equal to true as well, just like we did up here, because we don't want to store multiple same IP addresses in our database. Now, if our app is working properly, we shouldn't even need unique is true, because someone shouldn't be able to submit something if their IP address is in our database. Just like the blocked emails, we're going to go ahead and do create it so we can at least log the time we have added this to the database. So auto now add is true, so when it's created it will add the date and time. And we can also do define the string self return self.ip address. Alright, cool. Now let's go ahead and migrate this. So python manage.py make migrations, and then python manage.py migrate. Awesome, that all worked. We're doing pretty good so far. Now the next thing we want to do is add this to the admin file. So, start to the admin site. So admin.site.register. We gotta bring the model in. So blocked. The heck did I call? Blocked IPs, like that, and blocked IPs. Alright, cool. Now it's in the admin site, so if you run the database, or run the server, I mean, python manage.py run server, and we have a issue. What is the issue? Oh, I opened the wrong admin file there. Oh, whoops, we gotta go back and open that up. Sorry about that. I opened the contact admin file. See, I said we're doing so good so far, and then I screw it up. So in Spaminator, we got to go into our admin, and then that's why blocked IPs didn't show up when I start typing. Admin.site.register blocked IPs. There we go. Now we're rolling. Now we're rolling. Let's get this going. There we go. Open up our admin site. Admin. And we'll look in here. We got our blocked IPs. Boom, right there. Alright, cool. Alright, next part of this app is going to be the part where we open the utils.py, and we're going to go ahead and build a function that will check if the IP address is in our database. So when we're working with the contact form, the user sends their email address, correct? So we ask them for their email address, and they put in their email address and send it. So we can just simply check it, and if it's in the database, all right? Now, with the IP address, we can't ask a user for an IP address because 90% of the users aren't going to know their IP address, nor will a spammer give you their actual IP address. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the use request and get the HTTPX forwarded for IP address, or we can use remote underscore ADDR. So let's get started. Define the function. We're going to say IP underscore check, and we're going to go ahead and pass in request. Now we're going to do IP is equal to request.meta. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, get, and then we're going to, inside a string, do HTTP underscore X underscore forward date underscore 4. And basically this is probably one of the most accurate methods of getting an IP address. I will show you in a second the other way of doing it. So if IP, all right, then we'll do IP is equal to IP dot split, and we're going to split on a comma, and then we're going to get the first of the split of the IP address. Then we'll say else if this comes back as nothing or fails. We'll say else, and then we'll get IP is equal to, and this is the second part of a second way of getting IP address. And this way is not as accurate on the IP address. And we're going to use get remote underscore ADDR. All right. Then we're going to have to return something. So let's return something. Return blocked. We got to import the model first. Blocked IPs, and then we're going to get blocked IPs dot objects dot filter, and we're going to say IP underscore address is equal to IP from up here. So we're basically just checking the database just like we did up here, and we're going to do exist. So if the IP address is in the database, we're going to go ahead and block it. Yeah, that looks good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and open up our contact views.py, and we're going to go ahead and bring in the IP check as well. So IP underscore check. So right down here, if email check instance.email. So we're checking if the email exists. Why don't we go ahead and also check if the IP address is in our Spaminator app database. So we'll go ahead and say IP underscore check, and we'll go ahead and pass in, I believe it was request we used. Yes, we did. Request. So basically, if that IP address or the email address is in the database, we're going to say you are considered a spammer and we don't like you. If neither one of them is, if the IP address or the email is not in there, we're going to go ahead and allow them to send the message and save it to the database. All right, let's go test the logic here. Now, if you're running this locally, by running Python manage.py run server, and your server address is something like this, your IP address is always going to return 127.0.0.1 unless you changed it to something else. This is locally, so it's always going to return that when we're working with it, all right, locally. Now, if you are on a production server or your development servers on a different is out in the World Wide Web out there, you can get your IP address from www.iplocation.net. It's a pretty reliable one. If you go there and say, let's see, let's bring it up. I think that's what it is anyway. iplocation.net, and your public IP address is right there. All right, so that's the one you want. That is going to be the one the X forward that we just wrote returns. So let's go ahead and locally add the 127.0.0.1 to our database. All right, so when I test this, when I try to send the contact form, I should get a failure. So back to our contact form here, like that. We're going to go ahead and run Myers, and I gotta use a different email, so support@mastercode.online. It doesn't really matter what I put in there. And we're gonna say, I am spamming you because I am a loser. There we go. And we're gonna go ahead and send it. You are considered a spammer and do not like you. And I do not like you. Should be an I there. Anyhow, that's how we will block the IP address. Now, that's it for today. The next tutorial, we'll go ahead and block certain words. And then hopefully the following tutorial will bring it all together and finish this app up. If you guys have any questions, head over to mastercode.online. Let me know there. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next tutorial.